Hi, I'm Lisa Jones, culinary nutrition educator at Visionary Healing Center. And today we're going to do another kitchen pharmacy episode. We're going to talk about making fire cider. So at this time when we're surrounded by a lot of people who are sick and we're worried about protecting ourselves from the transmission of viruses, it's a good remedy to have in your kitchen and to learn how to make. And it's very simple to make. It's made from all practical ingredients that most of us can get in the grocery store anytime we're there. And it's very inexpensive. Fire cider, it goes back thousands of years. There is a modern herbalist named Rosemary Gladstar who sort of popularized fire cider again. And so now we see it more often in health food stores or in our local markets made by small artisanal producers. But you can do it yourself in the kitchen, and this is the batch that I made about 6 weeks ago, but we're going to put one together for you real quickly right now. So what you're going to need is about a quart-sized mason jar, and we'll go through the ingredients one at a time. I've already prepped them up all for you here. When you prep the ingredients for fire cider, you're going to expect to have a runny nose and tearing eyes because you're working with things like horseradish and onions, and these are things that are naturally going to cause you to tear up a little bit. You can wear swim goggles to make fire cider and protect yourself a little bit, but this is horseradish, particularly pungent. I've grated it up with a simple kitchen grater, and I used about 2 inches of a big thick horseradish root. We'll put this in. So horseradish is really great for the sinuses. When you inhale the vapors that come off of horseradish, you really feel it in the nose. So this is one of the reasons that fire cider is such a good remedy for cold and flu or any bronchial infections or as an antiviral, because something like horseradish has powerful medicine to help soothe those symptoms and even protect you from viruses getting into your system. The next ingredient that's always in fire cider is raw onion. So I have about 1 medium onion chopped up here. We're going to just pat that in. Now, I love to talk about onion because it's one of the most overlooked vegetables and something that we commonly cook with. It's in most every recipe that we're making from scratch at home. And onion is fabulous tonifier for the lungs. It helps to clear congestion. It's really useful for people with asthma. So just every time you're working with onion, you should be thinking about what a magical healing tool onion is. The next thing I want to put in is grated fresh ginger. So a lot of people drink ginger tea when they have a cold. They recognize it has all those soothing properties. Ginger tea also soothes the digestion. One of the things that it does is it activates the enzymes in your intestines, so it makes it easier for you to digest food, so it's a great after dinner tea. We're going to put it in here because we want the warming qualities of it. Okay, I'm going to push everything down a little bit so I can fit more in. So next we have a lot of garlic. I have about 8 cloves of garlic here, and I'll post the link up on the video so that you can link to the recipe on our website and make it yourself. It's not a difficult or specific recipe. It's very forgiving. So you could put more of one thing and less of another depending on what kind of flavor you want to have. So I just put fresh garlic in there. Now I'm going to add some jalapeno, but I'm not going to add all of that. Leave a little bit there. And we'll top it off with a little bit of lemon and a little bit of orange, also for flavor, but also for the vitamin C. So as a culinary nutrition educator, what I try to do for people is give them information that's sort of at the nexus of how you cook well for yourself and make delicious food, and how you choose to make food that is particularly supportive of your health. So fire cider isn't just a medicine, it's also a great culinary ingredient. It's super tasty. It's like pungent and sour and sweet and spicy all together. So people use it for marinating foods in, or they might make a cocktail out of it. It's terrific in a salad dressing as well. All right, so we have all of our good stuff in there, just packed into a mason jar. And now we're going to add some raw apple cider vinegar. So we want to make sure to use unpasteurized apple cider vinegar, also known as RACV. And the way you know it's raw is you'll notice that there's a little bit of sediment in the bottom of the jar when you buy it at the store. That means that it's really an active enzyme, and that culture that's developing in the raw apple cider vinegar is really great for your intestine. It adds all that active culture to your gut and helps you to have better digestion. And digestion is really good for all of your systems, particularly your cardiovascular system. So we just top that off with some raw apple cider vinegar. A couple of other things about RACV. It's thought to help with improve your sleep, help with weight loss, stabilize your blood sugar. People use it on their face as a facial tonic. It's kind of a great kitchen pharmacy item all on its own. All right, so we put all of those cool things in there: horseradish, onion, garlic, ginger, turmeric, lemon, jalapeno pepper, and oranges. Oh, I want to add something else in there. Sorry about this. Let me grab a little bit of rosemary. Rosemary is also a terrific ingredient in it because it's an antimicrobial, antibacterial. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on. Got a little parchment paper there in between the lid and the jar. That's to protect the metal of the lid from corroding from the acid in the apple cider vinegar. And this we're going to let sit in a cool, kind of a dark place. It shouldn't be refrigerated for about 4 weeks, and then you can strain it out. So now I'm going to strain out my batch that's ready, and we'll have a taste of it. When you strain, what you want to do is take some cheesecloth over a strainer, big bowl, and set the whole thing up so hopefully it's kind of stable. Then you're going to pull everything out here. And now you'll notice how much color has drained from this, and everything feels just like a little bit soft. The apple cider vinegar has acted on all of the ingredients in the jar, taken out all of the good micronutrients and healing compounds, and all the flavor. So it's in there real nice. And then I can lift my cheesecloth up and give it a good squeeze. Okay, so now I got all the liquid out of my jar, add it to a mixing jar so that I can pour it into a nice storage bottle without spilling it everywhere. When I take fire cider, I take about a 2-ounce shot glass in the morning. If I'm starting to feel like I've got cold or flu symptoms, or I've been around people that I know are sick, I might take 2 shots during the course of the day. And when I take the shots, I want to sweeten it up a little bit. I'm going to sweeten that with some raw honey. It's good to buy local raw honey because that's going to give you the elements of the plants that have grown in your region, and it may help improve your reaction, your allergy reaction in the springtime by eating local raw honey. Honey is a pretty miraculous thing in and of itself. I know that it's packed with microbials and antibacterials. And when they found, I think they found some honey in an Egyptian tomb that was a couple of thousand years old, and it was still good, no mold, still was completely edible, potent. So now I've mixed the honey into the fire cider and sweetened it up a little bit so it's a little more palatable. And then I'm going to take a shot glass of it, just like that. Thanks for helping me make fire cider. Take it if you're feeling like you're coming down with a cold. Keep it in your kitchen pharmacy. Feel empowered to make these things for yourself because they're simple to make. And I'm Lisa Jones, culinary nutrition educator at Visionary Healing Center.